Good evening, everyone. This is Melinda Russell, and in the background, you can't see her. She comes up as Galaxy Note 9, but that's actually my granddaughter, Makena Snyder. We're having a little issue getting her face on the podcast here with her name, but just know that she's the one in the background that's talking. So we wanted to get on tonight and just share a little bit with you about what she and I did over the weekend. Makena just got done playing basketball for the season, and now we're focusing on the racing that she does in the summer. And she had some things that she wanted to accomplish when we got together. And so, Makena, I'm going to just let you tell the people that are listening, what was it that we were going to try to do, and then we'll explain how we went about it.
We wanted to come up with a team name. We came up with sponsors. We made a list of sponsors we wanted to go to. We came up with our packages for the sponsorships.
Right.
Yeah.
So the reason you wanted to change the team name was why?
Because the team name used to be me and my sister, and now it's just me.
Right. So it used to be M&M Racing, Makena and Madison. And so Makena wanted to have a different name for her race team. And how do you go about that? Where do you even start to think of a team name? So we sat down at the computer, and one of the things that I did was I Googled racing team names. And there was a t-shirt website that, came up, and it had a bunch of team names listed. So I screenshot those and I sent it to Makena and her mom for them to take a look at. And not to say that we were going to copy one of those necessarily, but it gave us a starting place with some terms, some racing terms, some words that we can incorporate into a unique teammate name for Makena. So that's where we started. So when I went over to Makena's on Sunday, we sat down. That's the first thing we did. We looked through that list, and then Makena wrote down the words that came up on that list that she liked. So she wrote down random words. And then I went to a couple of places, Googled racing terms, I think it was, a glossary of racing terms. And so we found some new words there. She found some she liked. She wrote it down. And we just kind of talked back and forth. And Makena, do you remember what the three choices were that we came up with that we were going to share with your parents?
Yes, it was Blue Devil Racing, Great Lakes Racing, and No Limit Racing.
Right. So Blue Devil Racing is because she goes to Gull Lake School. You're a Blue Devil there. You play basketball. Mm-hmm. And then what was the second one?
Great Lakes Racing.
Right. So one of the other things I asked Makena to do was I asked her some questions about herself. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite animal? What are some things that are unique to where Makena lives and races? Well, she lives in Michigan, we're a Great Lakes state. So we came up with Great Lakes. The Blue Devil obviously came from, that's where she goes to high school. And then No Limits, I think we just had put those words together. And when she said No Limits Racing, we kind of looked at each other and said, yeah, that's it. That's the one we really liked.
Yep.
So we went with No Limits Racing, and I think her parents were on board with that. So, it took us a little while. Probably took us a half an hour, a little more to do it. But that's a way to, you have to get some inspiration from somewhere. You can Google anything. And so we Googled those words, and we looked them over, and we talked about them, and we came up with, the purple giraffe, but that really wasn't a good name for her race team. So I do see, though, wouldn't that be a cool looking car to have it look like giraffe skin, only it was purple? We'll have to think about that down the road, but maybe that'll be your mascot, the purple giraffe.
Yeah.
So after we did that, we went over some notes that her dad had left for us, because Makena and I are going to go out and do some marketing for her next week. And we needed some packages. I don't know how much they spend on racing. That's not my business. But if I'm going to help her with her marketing, I have to have some idea of what kind of packages they want to offer. So her dad, Bob, wrote down some of the bigger packages, like a pit pass sponsor. How much do pit passes cost Makena and her team in the summer? Tire sponsor, that's a big one. How many tires is she going to buy, and what do they cost, and how many is she going to need for the season? A fuel sponsor, another big sponsor. And then, of course, people want to be on the hood of the car. That's prime real estate if you're a car driver, a car team. So we came up with some numbers, and I don't necessarily have to share the numbers with you. I mean, we can. This is a private call. But, the pit passes are $2,400 a year. And that might be a lot to ask for some marketing partners. But so what we did, we said, if you want to be the full pit pass sponsor, $2,400. If you want to be the half-time pit pass sponsor, $1,200. And so whenever we market the pit pass sponsor, it's always going to say, our pit pass sponsor, Discount Tire, or whatever the business might be. So they're going to get a lot of press because they're going to be the tire sponsor, the pit pass sponsor. We're not just going to market and share from their Facebook and things. We're actually really going to make sure everyone knows that they were our fuel sponsor. That gives them a lot more credibility, not only with the racing community, but everybody that hears us talk about them on Facebook, on Instagram. Makena's much better at Instagram than I am. So she's going to have a new Facebook page that's going to be No Limits Racing, where she's going to, promote and help her sponsors get more publicity, more exposure with her circle of people. And then her circle of people, like myself, her parents, family, friends, they will see those posts that maybe the business isn't reaching at this point. So one of the things that we're going to push hard about Makena and her team is that we are excellent marketers. She's not only a good race car driver, she's not only a 15-year-old pretty young girl, but she's a good marketer. And we all know that social media is where it's at, especially, these young kids, they really know how to do the Twitter, the Instagram and things. So we're going to be looking to really do a lot of partnerships. So Makena, do you have your sheet in front of you? Do you know what some of the other sponsors were going to be, or do you want me to tell about it?
Yeah, I have the sheet in front of us.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and tell what else we
did. We have a family package where our friends and family can put a certain amount of money in and get a sticker on the car.
Right. Yeah.
We have a winner circle package.
Mm-hmm.
A backstretch club, a pit pass club, or a pit spot club. And a starting line club.
Right. So one of the reasons we did that was because, Bob's looking at the big picture, and as well he should, crew chief and main financer of this team. But everybody can't put in $2,000 or $1,000. But there are people that are going to want to support Makena in her racing. So we first came up with the Friends and Family Club. Anyone that gives her between $20 and $99 are going to get their name on the car. It's not going to be huge down the side. It's going to be a little bigger than handwriting, but it's going to be in a prominent place on the car, and your name will be on the car that you are supporting Makena. $20 to $99 sponsors, they're going to get their name in the car. Basically, they'll get their name mentioned every so often or listed when she talks about her sponsors, but that's the bottom line of the sponsorships. So then we came up with some other ones. So the Pit Spot Club, if they give anywhere from $100 to $249, they're in the Pit Spot Club. So we're going to have a special, little deal that says, eXp Realty is a member of the Pit Spot Club. And then we have the Starting Line Club, $250 to $499. The Backstretch Club, $500 to $999. And then the Winner's Circle Club. Anyone that gives her between $1,000 and $1,999 is going to be on the Winner's Circle Club. Now, all of those sponsors and clubs, except the friends and family, are going to get other things besides just their name on the car. And the more the sponsor gives, obviously, the larger the decal. So if you're going to be the hood logo and give the full $5,000, you get the whole hood for the whole season. And you're going to get the biggest share of the marketing because you're the biggest sponsor. Not to say that the rest of the people won't get a lot of sponsoring and a lot of marketing. They will. But, the people that really stretch and really help Makena improve her equipment, be able to get better, maybe go to some races besides Kalamazoo where she gets more experience. Those are the ones that we're going to try and really, really promote a lot. Now, the other things that they're going to get if they become one of our bigger sponsors is a personal appearance of Makena and her car. And Makena, tell us a little bit about your car or cars. Like, what classes are you going to drive in? And
okay, I'm racing a front-wheel drive Outlaw at Galesburg, sometimes in Kalamazoo, most of the time. And then this year we moved up to an Outlaw Sportsman.
Okay.
And until I get used to the car, I'm only going to race that at Kalamazoo.
Right. Okay. So that's a big deal. She's going to have two cars. So she'll be on the track not once or twice a night, but 3 or 4 times a night, which is a bonus to any of our sponsors because they're going to be seen more than the normal just car that goes out once or twice. We're going to have a sponsor night, May 17th at Kalamazoo Speedway. We have the party deck. All we know for now is the date and the place. We may feed you, we may not. We may just give you cookies. We don't know yet, but it's going to be a fun night. And we're going to invite potential sponsors, current sponsors, friends and family, and that's going to be the night that we come out and really gather together and really show Makena the support that she has. Each major sponsor will get 2 tickets that night to the race, so they'll come in free, and whatever kind of food we provide will be all on the party deck. So one of the other things we're going to do, I talked about, is the social media marketing of your business. Makena, what's your favorite social media platform? Which one do you use the most?
Probably Instagram.
Okay, tell me a little bit about Instagram and how are you going to use that for your racing this year?
I will probably put pictures of the race car and at the sponsors because I follow a lot of people.
Okay. All right. And then Twitter, do you use Twitter at all yet?
No, I don't.
Okay. I have a Twitter account, and I see that there are a lot of racing people, especially the NASCAR and the bigger series. They're all on Twitter. So the thing that's nice about Twitter, which we're going to work on that, we may have to teach your mom how to do that, is you can do really quick updates. And so, that's probably, besides Facebook, that's where your mom's going to say, hey, Makena just won the heat race. She's going to start 3rd in the feature. And then, so Twitter is what I see as little quick updates from people, more so than Instagram or Facebook. Instagram is more with your pictures. Mm-hmm. And Facebook is the old, all of us are on Facebook. So the Twitter and the Instagram are going to be a couple things new, I think, for your team this year.
I can go live on Instagram too.
Okay, awesome. Because you and I talked about doing some live events from the track. So why would you want to do a live event from the track?
For people to see me that can't come, or just if they're looking.
Right. Exactly. So, you get to the track. If you're going to Kalamazoo and you're going to race at 7:00, about what time, let's say school's out, about what time will you get to the track usually?
Well, I get off the bus at 3, so my dad's usually here waiting for me at 3:00.
All right. So you're at the track by between 4 and 5:00 for sure. Right.
Yes.
And in the summer, it'll be probably about the same because your dad will be working.
Yeah.
When you first get to the track, you unload the car and all these different things that you have to do to get the car ready. We'll talk about that another night on one of our shows. But that is a perfect time. Like, when you've got some downtime between unloading the car or practice or running hot laps or whatever you do, that's the perfect time for the driver, the crew chief, the mom, whoever, to do a Facebook Live. And it doesn't have to be long. It can be 30 seconds. Do you think your mom can do a 30-second Facebook Live about you racing?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to get mom's perspective, and then, your dad will have some downtime, or maybe you're out in the heat race and he can go live while you're doing the heat race. He's right up at the fence. And then, sometime during the night, you can get on and say, hey, it's a beautiful night at Kalamazoo. The car's running good. You still got time to get out here, because they don't start till 7 or 7:30 to race. If you're there at 5:00, people are getting off work and they're trying to decide what are they going to do tonight. And that's the perfect time to hit them up and say, hey, did you know you could come to the races at Kalamazoo? It's one of the cheapest places you can take your family, and come to the race and bring a friend. And that's something else that we talked about, right? That we're going to try to do.
Yep.
Right. Yep. Right. So another thing that we talked about, Makena, was when we go out next week, and we're going to try to get some appointments and actually see some business owners face to face. What do I say? You're 15 years old. This is new for you, even for an adult. It's hard. They don't always know what to say. So what is it that you're going to say? And you don't have to be perfect about it, but what did we kind of talk about that you were going to say when you went to meet these people?
We talked about when I started, how I got into racing, the accomplishments that I have made during quarter midgets and in big cars.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So basically, it's your story. We want to tell your story, and we don't want to spend a half hour doing it. We are going to have, maybe 5 or 6 sentences. My name's Makena Snyder, blah, blah, and this is how I started racing, and this is why I love to race. And it can be short and sweet, but it's an introduction to that potential sponsor about who you are as a racer. Why is, especially as a girl, and this works for girls, men, boys, or whatever, but especially as a girl, why I'm in what is typically considered a man's sport. And it just gives them like a little bit better introduction than just your name. And it hopefully sparks a little interest in what you're going to do. So what is your passion about racing, Makena? Why do you race?
I race because a lot of older boys tend to treat younger girls or women not the same as men, and when I'm racing, the older boys that I do race with do treat me the same. They push me around just as much as they would as other men, sometimes more.
Mm-hmm.
And I started racing because my family did it, and I grew up there, and yeah.
And you kind of get the bug, don't you?
Yeah.
When you're, if I was younger and didn't have a back problem, I would love to do an enduro or something. What you probably don't know is your Aunt Cindy actually drove a race car and worked at a racetrack years ago in Florida. So it isn't just your mama and your Uncle Benji and your parents. The racing kind of goes back in our family farther than I realized, but it's adrenaline. I think you told me at one point you need to go fast. What is there anything else about racing, why you do it?
I've made a lot of friends in the last couple years. Mm-hmm. Some have gotten like really close that I'd call family.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there's a lot of reasons why you race. For a businessman or woman that doesn't follow racing, they don't understand that part, or they might not be aware of the part that it isn't just about the trophy or the money that you win, because the money's not all that, but it's about the people that you've met and the friends you've made. And I think that's one thing that we really will stress to the people that we talk to, where you're concerned that, you know, you've learned how to network, you've learned how to market yourself, and you've learned how to build and keep relationships. And those are like big people things, you know, those are adult accomplishments that there's a lot of adults that haven't accomplished it. So those are all good things. What about what you're going to wear when we go see people? If you're a guy or a gal, what should you or should you not wear when you go out to try to find some marketing partners?
You should probably wear nicer clothes, like a racing t-shirt or jeans, not like shorts or a dress or something.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, we talked about, jeans are fine. But I wouldn't wear the ones that are all wholly in the front, you know, mm-hmm. Especially business people. They are probably a little more looking for people who have a good appearance. I know those jeans are cool, but not when you're going to see a marketing partner. Wear a clean shirt, guys, especially. Don't wear a racing t-shirt that is a little on the questionable side, or that looks like you've rubbed your hands down the front. You know, clean yourself up. Shave for guys. Get your hair done looking nice. It doesn't have to be fancy. For you girls, put it in a ponytail, whatever. But you have to present yourself as a professional. Even if driving a race car is somewhat of a hobby, being a professional, it means that you act professional on and off the track. It means that you look professional when you go to see potential marketing partners. And also when you're at the track, be professional, look nice. Because what you have to remember is every name that's on that car, who's representing them?
I am.
Right. And it's easy to forget that sometimes, but that's another thing that Makena gets it. There's, you know, people that forget that when they get angry, and they forget that, hey, my name's on the car. I'm one of your big sponsors, and you just acted like a fool. That makes me look like a fool that I sponsored you. So absolutely, be professional. And then one of the last things we're going to talk about is follow-up. So Makena, what are we going to do to follow up with people that become sponsors, and even the people who didn't become a sponsor this year, but maybe they will another time?
We will post it on our Facebook page. I'll post it on the Instagram page, and I'm sure my mom will post it on Twitter.
Right.
We'll also give our sponsors a shout out.
Yeah. And then we're also going to send them something in the mail.
Oh, a thank you card.
Right. So anybody that knows me knows I'm all about the thank you cards, any kind of cards. It does make a difference. It makes a huge difference. If you go to a sponsor and you want them to be let's say even a $500 sponsor for you, and they don't hear or see anything out of you till next year when it's time, they're not going to think a whole lot of you. They're going to think, well, what the heck did my $500 do? How did you do during the season? And so we're going to send immediately, we're going to send a thank you for your time or thank you for your sponsorship card. And then throughout the season, periodically, we're going to send cards, even to the people that we talked to that did not come on board, because maybe they just didn't know that much about racing, or they didn't know very much about Makena. But now that they gotten cards through the summer, hey, she won a heat race at Galesburg. Hey, she won the B feature at Kalamazoo. Look at all the people that help her in the pits. There's a lot of reasons to let those people know what she's doing. And that's a stay in touch way, so that next year, if someone came to them and said, hey, I'd like you to sponsor me, who's the first person they're going to think of about sponsoring? Is it going to be the kid that just showed up out of the blue, or you, Makena?
Me.
Right. Stay top of mind. So, you know, Makena's all about the racing. Her dad knows how to fix the cars and the other people on her team. I can't help with any of that. But what I can help with is I can help her find her team name. I can help her put her packages together. I can help her think of unique ways to get some other sponsors that she might not have thought of. And then I can help her with the marketing part. Hey, this is what you need to do to keep those sponsors and to make them happy. I say sponsors. To me, a sponsor is somebody that hands over money and is not looking for anything in return. Mama is a sponsor. I don't need anything in return other than my granddaughter being happy. But Discount Tire isn't going to have the same relationship with Makena. So they're going to expect return on investment. What is that return going to look like for them? It's going to look like a lot of social media marketing, her car at their place of business, a decal on her race cars, depending on the size of their sponsorship. And that is what's going to get those people coming back to her next year and next year and next year. So she and I just wanted to share a little bit about what we did on Sunday. Makena, do you have any other thoughts or anything you want to say about what we did on Sunday?
Nope, but thank you for helping me.
Oh, you're welcome. No problem about that. So we're going to share this little recording with all of our members out there, IWMA members. We may even share it at a later time with just on our Facebook and that page. But we just want you to know that Makena and I are working hard on getting her some sponsors. I'm also working with some other teams to help them get marketing partners. And if you need some help or you need some advice, I'm putting together a training program and a program where I can help you do that. And if you're interested, you just have to let me know about that, and we'll set up some times to talk. We're going to have a Wednesday night little webinar thing here just for our members. So if you're a member and you want to be part of it, all you have to do is log into Zoom, and we'll send that reminder to you. So tonight was our first one. It was just me and Makena, which is fine. We're going to share this with all of the members and hopefully grow this Wednesday night chat. So Makena, thanks for taking time. I know you got exams this week, so you get to studying, and we'll see you soon.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Bye.